Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing, so y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now I figured I'd weigh in a little bit on this Pauli Malignaggi and Devin Haney thing that's going on right now. And matter of fact, Pauli Malignaggi is a character. To say it, to put it lightly, he's a character. Now, before I even go into this, remember, this is Doma. The guy who talks Negro League fighters who don't get their just due, and if it's heavyweight, Deontay Wilder, Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, Michael Hunter to a lesser extent. Then you go down to, to the Demetrius Andrades of the world, the Jamal Charlos of the world. People go, Jamal Charlo? Yeah, well, Jamal Charlo is the reason we have a Charlo belt, aka franchise title. If he wasn't dangerous, we wouldn't have one. And then you still got other fighters like David Morrell, Devin Haney, Terrence Crawford, back in the day, Guillermo Rigondeaux, fighters who we know are awesome and the very best we have to offer, but we keep doing things like not letting them get fights and then tell them who they fought, right? And then they don't even get they're too good to fight somebody money. They'll get the who they fought money, i.e. Terrence Crawford never being able to get Manny Pacquiao because they were scared to give Manny Pacquiao the fight against Terrence Crawford, but people still ask him who has he fought, right? They deprive him of having that fight. Demetrius Andrade, they deprive him of getting Canelo, even though he had all the money and he was the guy who can get Canelo undisputed at 160 pounds, which is a glamour division. We know the middleweight is a glamour division. So, we don't give him the fight. We deprive him of the fight. Don't make sure the media, all of them together, don't say anything. And then we can continue to say, well, these fighters have some certain people on their resume, even though every single one of them that I mentioned have been trying their asses off to get so. So in boxing, we got this dynamic popping off. Now, we're getting back to Pauli Malignaggi and Devin Haney. Well, Pauli Malignaggi seems, when Devin Haney back 2 years ago said he ain't no white boy gonna beat him, damn it, that's what he thinks, right? And up until now, is he right? Yeah. But, it's going to be a white boy. Now you had Pauli Malignaggi, who a couple of years ago was considered to be a racist person because he said, and among other things, but this is one thing he said, that Eastern Europeans are taking over the sport. Now, most people, that's an outlandish statement. But for me, it wasn't really outlandish. It's like, okay, you can look at it like that. Because, I'm looking at, for example, that cruiserweight division when Alexander Usyk was in that tournament. It wasn't nothing but Eastern Europeans in that tournament. Light heavyweight is ruled by Eastern Europeans. And then the other ones, you got some other Eastern Europeans in there, because just Ukraine by themselves. You got to also factor in that the Klitschko's dominated heavyweight for 10 years. Dominated. In America, we get Deontay Wilder, and then we start hating on the man for, first American in the wild that did anything. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So when you're looking at the Klitschko's, you're looking at the light heavyweight and the cruiserweight divisions, and then you're putting in the Lomachinkos and the Victor Postals and other fighters, you can come up with that. Right? It's not like an outlandish statement. Eastern Europeans are handling their business in the world of boxing, but dominating is going too far because, damn it, I just mentioned the Negro Leagues, and I've just a few of them. It's a few new Negro League guys that I ain't mentioning yet because I'm not talking about guys who just are prospects or just getting in there. I'm talking about people that have been avoided and done badly for years. That's why those guys that I mentioned. Anyway, but Pauli Malignaggi said, well, I tell you one white boy that's going to beat Devin Haney, and that's what's your boy name? Lomachenko, right? So that is ridiculous because we all know that Devin Haney's been trying to fight Lomachenko for whatever, for how many years? Since he was 20 years old, and he was his mandatory. And then what did we get again? Another franchise title. Now, remember, people, when you get a franchise title, there will be somebody awesome on the other side of that title, i.e. Devin Haney or Jamal Charlo. That's when Canelo Alvarez and Lomachenko asked, and I will repeat, asked to get a title so they don't have to face those mandatories and can still be glorified by not doing it. So they came up with an idea that most people would accept, but we see through what a franchise title is, i.e. Charlo belt. Now, that's what he can think, right? Your boy, Pauli Malignaggi. But here's the difference. Because a lot of people that were talking that smack don't believe what they were talking. And now that the fact that Lomachenko and Devin Haney are in negotiation to have a fight, everybody else is jumping off of that. We think Lomachenko can win, i.e. Teddy Atlas, who was also talking, that Lomachenko could beat him and all of that. Now he's like, everybody's, oh, Devin Haney's too big all of a sudden. I'm a lightweight. What do you mean I'm too big, right? But now he's too big and Lomachenko will have a problem. Here's where Pauli Malignaggi is courageous. He's still at it. He's still at it even right now, even though they're in negotiations. And you got to give him that, right? Because most people have backed off and they scared, right? So that's the point when you're talking about that. Pauli Malignaggi says a lot of stuff. I've seen him stand up for fighters who are getting done and getting bad decisions or whatever. But he's made some racist comments, some comments that are racist, right? I can't think of them right now. But he's also sticking to his guns with this Lomachenko thing, which means he really believes it, as opposed to most people who are just saying it to be saying it, knowing that they weren't going to ever fight, right? Because if Devin Haney was his mandatory, then they're not scared that that he's going to fight because, hey, we came up with a franchise title and we were able to do, to say, hey, that's cool. So everybody else has backed off. Only one that's still saying that Devin Haney gonna get beat by Lomachenko is Pauli Malignaggi, and even though in most cases the man's been a dirtbag when it comes to racist things, but at least he's sticking to his guns, right? So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go and leave it with that. We'll holla. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm up out of here, y'all.